Well, hello there, party people. My name is Darla, but you can call me AD. I am a representative, well, the owner, really, of the Insecure Boy TM Garbage Disposal Services, Inc. And I have to tell you, business has been booming this summer. First, I was successfully able to dispose of Keke Palmer's ex-boyfriend, Dusty Darius, and now Jonah Hill. But, I regret to inform you that there's been an unfortunate turn of events. Ooh, ooh, it's the sound of the police. Ooh, ooh. I received a AMSLR alert the other day that my garbage disposal services would be needed for another alleged PCOS boyfriend. On the 16th of July, 2023, Bebe Rexha appeared to attack her ex-boyfriend, Keke Safiari, for body shaming her by leaking private text messages between them on her Instagram stories. But when I and the rest of the crew came mobbing through and arrived at the scene of the crime, it was quickly revealed to us in a delusion by the universe that,
not happening.
What do you mean it's not happening?
Yeah, not happening. Yeah, no. Not happening. Call the whole thing off.
But I came here with my pitchfork and everything!
Hey! First of all, who the do you think you're talking to like that? Second of all, let me tell you a little something about life, kid. Sometimes in life, people are dead set into deluding themselves into thinking everybody else is the problem, when literally the problem is just them.
So you're telling me that there's nothing wrong with the text messages?
Literally not one thing. As a matter of fact, okay, I am sick of tired of people leaking their text messages in order to air out their petty interpersonal drama on the internet. So you want to know what it's time for?
What?
Backlash!
Oh no!
Oh my God! The universe really needs to chill.
Hi. So we've had another text message leak. This time from American singer-songwriter Bebe Rexha. If you don't know who she is, I don't blame you. And the universal bipartisan consensus across party lines is that it didn't hit quite the way she was maybe hoping it would. Honestly, this particular leak was embarrassing for her life and soul. Like, you've got to do some serious soul searching when the circus clowns at the Daily Wire happen to be on the same page as the pitchfork holding woke mob that there's nothing wrong with the text messages. And she's literally the problem. But obviously, the circus clowns at the Daily Wire had to bring it to another level by making this whole text message drama about how women are crazy and women are obsessed with victimizing themselves. So I'm here to tell you, don't listen to these industry plants. Okay, if you fancy yourself an independent thinker, if you don't like the government telling you what to do, don't listen to these big money funded industry plants. Okay, listen to me. I am the authorita. Okay, as far as celebrity drama goes, I am the authorita. But here's the thing. In order to understand the full picture and the full story of this text message leak, you need to know who Bebe Rexha is as an artist. You need to understand what her whole shtick is as a celebrity, right? What her public persona is, what her brand is. So we'll do that first. I'll give you some backstory and some context to the individual in question. And then we'll move on to looking at the leaked text messages. And then we'll move on to the backlash/discourse. So let's get into the drama. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. If you can help activate me getting that YouTube bread, help me manifest it, It would be very much appreciated. Yeah, so let me show you the look today. The look today is, let me show you. Let's get into it. Who is Bebe Rexha? Bebe Rexha, also known as Bebe Rexha, is an American singer and songwriter from Brooklyn, New York. She grew up in Staten Island. And honestly, aesthetically at least, it looks like she never left. No shade, okay? This isn't anything personal. This is business. I'm talking as someone with experience in branding and marketing. She doesn't really pass the supermarket aisle check. We'll get to that. She is of ethnic Albanian descent. Her parents are from North Macedonia. So the story is she's been playing instruments, writing songs, and making music since she was a teenager. Apparently, she was first discovered when she submitted a song to this like competition, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences annual Grammy Career Day. In this competition, she beat out 700 other applicants and won Best Teen Songwriter. At that point, she was discovered and headhunted by BMI's Samantha Cox, and that's kind of like where her career started. So at that point, when she was headhunted, it seems like she started being encouraged to start making music, taking classes, and kind of embedding herself into the music scene in New York City. Around 2010, she met Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy. She became a vocalist for his experimental project called Black Cards. She stayed with that band until 2012, at which point she ventured out and started a solo career. In 2013, she signed with Warner Brother Records and embarked on, trying to get the next level of her career started as a solo artist, as a songwriter, etc. In that respect, she's been moderately successful. Moderate success. We'll get to that. So you might know her for songs like Monster, which was performed by Eminem and Rihanna. You are the monster inside of my head. Na 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 na. She wrote that song. As a solo artist, I think the single that she would be the most easily recognized for is I'm a Mess. I'm a mess. Na 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 na. I'm a mess. Other than that, most of her success as like a solo artist has been as a result of collaborations and feats with other artists by either writing for them or lending her vocals to a project. In fact, you might have come across one of her recent successes. She collaborated with David Guetta on a remix of Eiffel 95's classic song, I'm Blue. I'm blue. That. So they redid that song. It went viral on TikTok, and I don't know if it could be considered a hit, but it's very successful. So that has been one of her biggest successes to date. Some other notable collaborations she's done includes Meant to Be featuring Florida Georgia Line. I don't know that song. Me, Myself, and I featuring G-Eazy. In the Name of Love with Martin Garrix. In the Name of Love. I can't sing. In the Name of Love. As a songwriter, she's helped pen songs for the likes of Selena Gomez, All Hands on Deck, Na 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 Na, Just Like That by Iggy Azalea and Tanashi, and Team by Iggy Azalea, which is kind of ironic that she penned songs for Iggy Azalea because it's easy to confuse them for each other. And it's not just because they're like blonde and white, right? Iggy Azalea, Rita Ora, Bebe Rexha, like Ava Max, they kind of could just, if I was a music industry executive, I would have just morphed them, into one AI generated super pop star. And I guarantee you everybody would have been making more money. They'd be more successful as one than separate entities because they're all kind of I want to pick my words wisely. They don't stand out. Okay, I feel like that's fair. Bebe Rexha, unfortunately, to date, obviously this isn't me casting judgment on her potential, on her talent, and how far she could go in the future. Never underestimate people. You never know. It's never too late to reach for the stars. But currently, given her track record and as it stands, Bebe Rexha as an artist does not pass the supermarket aisle test. If I'm walking down a supermarket aisle, I am not going to stop dead in my tracks to pick up a bottle of Bebe Rexha because honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a bottle of Iggy Azalea, Bebe Rexha, Rita Ora, and Ava Max. There's nothing currently about Bebe Rexha's sound, aesthetic, and brand identity and positioning that is differentiating itself in the very crowded marketplace that is the music business. If we look at the most recent project that Bebe Rexha just dropped, which is why one of the main reasons why she's back in the media right now and relevant, there are some really good songs, but all the good songs sound like they could come from Miley Cyrus and Harry Styles. And she's also like sonically, aesthetically, and trend-wise a little bit late to the party. With her most recent project, Bebe she's trying to tap into this like disco revival, but she's like 3 years late to the party. The disco revival peaked with Dua Lipa. You're not going to do it better than Dua Lipa. Miley Cyrus also did it. If we just look at her most recent album, the press shots for this album literally look like fashion campaigns for like Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, Love and Lemons from like 2014, 2018, and 2020. Her aesthetic today looks like what Miley Cyrus did with what's it called, Midnight something in like 2020. You're late to the party. You're trying to hop on waves and hop on trends, but you're missing the mark. So it honestly feels like she needs help tuning into the right frequency, because it's always a little off. So my message to Bebe Rexha, okay, is like, get out of your Hollywood Hills mansion, travel the world, hit the clubs, see what the cool kids are wearing, what they're listening to, and how they're existing in the world. Get inspired, embed yourself in the subcultures that you're trying to borrow musically, sonically, and aesthetically from. Study them, observe them, and then create something new and interesting with all that information. But right now, if you just want to talk about aesthetics, it's really giving Vanessa, the hot Italian girl from Staten Island next door that's getting married to Mario next summer and is, really looking forward to her baby's christening, okay? It's giving Real Housewives of New Jersey and not iconic superstar pop star. And I know this is coming off as harsh, but you need to understand, I have very little sympathy for people with that amount of industry backing, money, and support that aren't able to do anything interesting with it. So it's like, if you don't have it, get out of the way so someone else can have it. There are limited resources in this world, okay? If it's not for you, it's not for you. Move. Now, given the fact that we've established that Bebe Rexha as a solo artist is not a showstopper, what has made her a celebrity, right? If it's not the music and the illustrious career that is earning her headlines, what is it? What is making her relevant as an individual that people are talking about in pop culture? Well, it's her advocacy for body positivity and the media and pop culture's obsession, disgusting obsession, with her body image issues and weight. And this is going to be extremely relevant to the text message leaking drama. Very important context in order to understand the drama and the backlash. So let's get into Bebe Rexha's whole relationship with the body positivity movement. So within pop culture, celebrity Hollywood culture, Bebe Rexha's body image issues and weight fluctuations have unfortunately become narratives and storylines in and of themselves. Bebe Rexha's music and career achievements aren't what make headlines. Bebe Rexha gaining or losing weight and how she responds to the media attention around her weight and how she deals and claps back at trolls who come for her and her weight and her body image, that's what makes headlines. This is the culture we live in, and it's fucking sad. And as a result, the way Bebe Rexha talks about her body image issues and how she claps back to the haters publicly has also become part of her narrative and her storyline and brand as an artist. That's part of what people follow. So far, her track record with how she claps back and handles the hyper-focus, hyper-fixation, and criticism has managed to garner her a lot of free and positive publicity. It's gotten her magazine covers, headlines, and routinely made her relevant in the media in a positive way, up until now. Basically, if you don't know Bebe Rexha's music, but you know her name, it's most likely as a result of you coming across some kind of headline that was covering a viral social media moment where she took a loud and proud body positive stance. And that moment was viral enough that it made its way in front of you. And over the years, Bebe Rexha has generated quite a few viral social media moments. The moment that crowned all the moments, right? The moment that set the scene and set the tone for everything else to follow, and that crowned her a body positive advocate, body positive icon, happened in 2019. In 2019, Bebe Rexha was nominated for her first Grammy Award. The lore is, allegedly, most designers refused to dress her because she was too big. At the time, she was, I think, a size 6 or a size 8. So the story is, when she received the news, she was so distraught and so depressed and obviously triggered by this that she went into a room somewhere and recorded like this super heartfelt, intimate video diary confessional of herself reacting to the news. And she decided to post that video online or share it online. And the video went viral. This is the video.
I finally get nominated at the Grammys, and it's like the coolest thing ever. And a lot of times artists will go and talk to designers and they'll make them custom dresses to walk the red carpet, right? Like you go to any big designer. So I have my team hit out a lot of designers, and a lot of them do not want to dress me because I'm too big. Literally, like I'm too big. And if a size 6'8" is too big, then I don't know what to tell you. Then I don't want to wear your dresses, because that's crazy. Because you're saying that all the women in the world that are size 8 and up are not beautiful and they cannot wear your dresses. So all the people that said that I'm thick and I can't wear dresses, you, I don't want to wear your dresses.
This video quickly went viral because it resonated with a lot of people. It sends a strong message. Bebe Rexha at the time was the size of most average women. I don't have the stats, okay? But she was an average, normal size. And the message that the fashion industry was giving to her at the time was that her normal size wasn't good enough. And this follows and fits into a pattern and a trend that exists within the fashion industry and exists within the world of telling women that they don't measure up. And this triggered her. And it triggered a lot of people. And for the rest of 2019, she really kept the momentum going. She would later make headlines that year, sharing unedited bikini pictures of herself, being like, could have photoshopped myself, but didn't. Here's what a real woman's body looks like. That was very popular. She would make headlines for clapping back at trolls online who were calling her tubby and chubby. And she was affirming that she doesn't care and nobody should care about other people's weight. And your weight is nobody's business. And obviously this resonated with people, got headlines, and was, made her even more popular. All these body positive advocacy moments and efforts would culminate in her getting the October cover of Cosmopolitan in 2019. In the October issue of Cosmopolitan, Bebe Rexha would be extremely candid about her body image issues and what she's had to go through being a pop artist in the industry. She talks about how the minute she got signed, she was obviously very young, that one of the first things and the first messages that she received from, I'm assuming her team or her label at the time, was that if she wanted to be a pop star, she needed to get into boot camp shape, and that she needed to lose like 20 pounds. And she talks about how at the time she was only 130 pounds. So she's 130 pounds and she has a team of people telling her that she needs to lose 20 pounds. And she has a team of people trying to make her believe that, quote, nobody likes a fat pop star. So this interview obviously as well got her a lot of positive publicity and really cemented her, in my opinion, as like Bebe Rexha, the young up and coming pop star who is fighting the system and standing up against this discriminatory body shaming culture that exists. Now, she also had some other notable moments, viral moments, leading up to the alleged body shaming text messages. And those include a viral video she shared in 2021. This is the video.
So it is the holidays, and I know we're all supposed to be like merry and like, yay, it's the holidays, which I am-ish. I think I am the heaviest I've ever been. I weighed myself just now. I don't feel comfortable sharing the weight because I feel embarrassed. It's not just about that. I just feel like disgusting, like in my own body. I haven't been posting as much because I don't feel good in my skin, and when I don't feel good, I don't want to post. And that's really honestly the reason why I haven't been posting in the last year or so as much as I used to. I don't know how to help myself anymore or how to love myself. So I guess this will be the end of the video. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Sorry.
Again, this moment went viral and resonated with a lot of people because she was extremely candid about something that a lot of people struggle with. And there was another viral moment in 2021 where she went on TikTok with this like super beautiful blue lingerie set and showed off her body. And she reiterated that, you know, your weight and what your body looks like is nobody's business. And she really boldly shared with people what her current weight was, which was 165 pounds at the time, and proudly proclaimed that 165 pounds is something that we need to normalize in culture, because look at her, look at how great and how beautiful she looks, and look at how comfortable she seems to be in her skin. Again, people loved that moment, and that moment got her a lot of headlines and went viral as well. She's also done these like crowdsourcing campaigns where she urged her followers on social media to send her unedited pictures of themselves, and that she would repost them in order for like everyone to be able to celebrate normal bodies, right? Everybody loved that. That got her positive publicity as well. And then moving on to 2022, it seems like at that point, she had lost weight, and all of a sudden, now she was getting headlines by like fitness magazines talking about how, quote, she was looking better than ever, which is obviously coded language for you look skinny and fit. I can't imagine how much that must fuck with people, that you have an entire media ecosystem validating you when you're looking thin and fit, and then that same media ecosystem is kind of amplifying people coming for you when you've gained weight. Imagine what that dynamic, living through that dynamic must be like. Not fun at all. So this brings us to 2023, present day Bebe Rexha. Bebe Rexha just released a new album, her self-titled Bebe. This is her latest solo album. So she's back in the spotlight doing PR and all this stuff that she needs to do in order to get her project out there. And guess what? The main topic of discussion is, again, the fact that she's gained weight. Bebe Rexha was recently diagnosed with a hormone imbalance disorder called PCOS, which stands for polycystic ovary syndrome. Some common symptoms of this hormone imbalance include facial hair growth, acne, infertility, and weight gain. Bebe Rexha has gone on record recently with Gayle King and Jennifer Hudson talking about how this diagnosis led her to gain 30 pounds really quickly. And basically she talks about how this is very difficult for her because she struggled with her weight and body image her entire life. And even though she's a public figure and people talking about her body, even though it's wrong, comes with the territory, it doesn't make it any easier. Like the minute the woman is back in the public eye and she happens to have gained weight, people are speculating on whether or not she's pregnant, and Bebe Rexha's weight literally becomes a trending search term on TikTok. And of course, she gets wind of this. It's hard to ignore these things, especially when you have to be online. So of course she does what she's historically done, and she reacts publicly to what's going on and to the discourse that's happening. So far, her public reactions has gotten her positive press, which of course, when you're promoting an album, is good for business, which brings us to the leaked text messages. This is what you need to keep in mind. This is a recurrent dynamic between the media and Bebe Rexha, pop culture and Bebe Rexha. People talk about her weight. She responds to it publicly. It gets her positive free press up until now. As we all know, as we have all witnessed as of late, we experienced quite a pop culture moment in the past couple of weeks, which has seen ex-boyfriends being exposed by their ex or current significant others for being alleged garbage. And in Jonah Hill's case, this was as a result of alleged leaked text messages. So the internet speculation, and this is just speculation, is that Bebe Rexha, being at least musically somewhat of a trend hopper, sensed some momentum and thought she could ride the wave to potentially, allegedly, manufacture herself another social media moment that would be positive for her. But in this particular case, failed to read the room, as she did with the disco revival, and was late to the party. And the consensus is it just didn't hit the way perhaps she was hoping it would. In fact, it backfired because when the insecure boy scientific community read the leaked text messages and sent me out to pick up the trash, they had to abort the mission, as they came to the conclusion that there was nothing wrong with the text messages and she was most definitely the problem. It wasn't the gag it was supposed to be. So on the 16th of July, 2023, Bebe Rexha hit up her Instagram stories to share alleged private text messages between her and her, I'm assuming now ex-boyfriend, Keke Safiari. She shared these private text messages with her 11 million Instagram followers. Now, she deleted the text messages soon after posting it, but obviously the internet is forever, especially for people with platforms like that. Honestly, this is why I would never date a famous person and why I would never want to be famous myself. Okay, let me up in private without repercussions. Her boyfriend, Keke or ex-boyfriend, wherever they stand, Keke Safiari is said to be a cinematographer and filmmaker who owns a production company called Moving Images Entertainment. So here's the text message not one person took issue with. How is my battery doing? This is doing well. What about this? Yeah, batteries. One day I will have a whole team. I will have a ton of people on my team, and I won't need to shoot myself. I won't need to write anything myself. I won't need to edit anything myself. I won't need to do any marketing myself. I could just stand in front of a camera like the rest of you industry plants on YouTube. Just kidding. And just perform, you know, that would be so nice, but I'm not there yet. Definitely not at 114 subscribers. I would be thankful for every single one of you, by the way. But here I am calling Bebe Rexha mid when I am literally the embodiment of mid at this stage of my career on YouTube. Let me read the text message. Okay, so this is a text message allegedly sent by Bebe Rexha's ex-boyfriend to Bebe Rexha. Hey, I never said you weren't beautiful, and I never said I didn't love you. In fact, I said how beautiful you are and how much I love you. But I always said I would be honest with you, and your face was changing, so I told you it was. That was the conversation we were having, and you asked. Because I care. Would you rather I lied to you? You gained 35 pounds. Obviously, you gained weight, and your face changes. Should I just pretend it didn't happen? And that's okay? Question mark. Come on, I gained 3 pounds and you call me chubs and fat. Doesn't mean you don't love me. If you're trying to find reasons to break up, this makes sense, but it's not the real reason. If you're unhappy with me / yourself / your life and don't see a future with us, then that's okay. And that's the reason. Don't use something like that to weaponize your anger or anxiety or any insecurity you may have. You know, I always found you to be beautiful and loved you no matter what. I think it's important for you to think about these things and write things down. Speak to a therapist and do this retreat thing to get to the root of the problem. Let me know if you'd like to speak and if you need more clarity. Love you. So obviously, the internet read these text messages, myself included, ready to pounce. But the mission had to be aborted because there was literally not one thing wrong with these text messages. And so what happened was the opposite effect. The whole thing backfired against Bebe Rexha and reflected extremely poorly on her. And the backlash to the leaking of these text messages involved bipartisan consensus on a few common themes. So let's get into the themes and the backlash and the discourse and what the internet had to say. So I'm here to report to you that there seems to be a leaked text message exhaustion in culture. People are over it. Okay. And a big part of the backlash with Bebe Rexha's leaked text messages is that people are alarmed and are really viscerally rejecting leaked text messages becoming part of the norm or a trend in culture. By the way, if you'd like a deep dive video on the ethics of leaks or the ethics of leaking text messages and where the conversation or where the law is in respect to that, let me know. I think that would be a cool deep dive and I'd be happy to make it at some point. So let me know. The consensus seems to be that unless the text messages you are leaking expose and or reveal some kind of up and or predatory behavior and thus has per effect a kind of public service, sharing private text messages to deal with petty interpersonal conflicts that are better dealt with in private is wrong. And people think it's wrong for a couple of reasons. They think it's wrong because obviously it's easy to take things out of context, but they also think it's especially wrong coming from a celebrity with a platform that is as big as Bebe Rexha. Bebe Rexha has 11 million followers on Instagram. Sharing this kind of information opens up the other person to brigading, harassment, and targeting from that person's fan base. As we know, people's fans, celebrities' fan bases can be particularly unhinged. Now, you may be asking yourself, and I ask myself this question as well, why does the internet seem to be generally okay, even though they might, judge her for how messy this was, with Sarah Brady leaking text messages, but not okay with the text messages Bebe Rexha leaked? And the consensus seems to be that while the way Sarah Brady went about things is messy, and perhaps she could have done so, achieved her goal in a less messy way, at least the text messages that Sarah Brady shared did reveal some kind of emotionally abusive and or a controlling dynamic and exposed to the public a potential covert misogynist. That is the sentiment. And people think that that served more of a public service than the text message that Bebe Rexha leaked. In fact, people looked at the text message that Bebe Rexha leaked and came to the conclusion that her boyfriend came off incredibly affirming, affectionate, supportive, and reasonable. He consistently reiterates how much he loves her, how much he finds her beautiful and attractive no matter what. And basically, people thought that this was a blueprint for how to deal with something like this in a mature, respectful, and loving way. The text messages also backfired on Bebe Rexha because, first of all, it sounds like she asked him for his honest opinion, adult to adult, and he gave her his honest opinion. And the consensus is, if you are going to ask your partner an insecurity-driven question like that, you should not set your partner up for failure and blast them when they either don't tell you what you want to hear or tell you the truth. Like one commenter said, people should be able to talk honestly between partners, adults, about things like sudden weight gain or loss, as it could be cause for concern, health concern. And they should be able to discuss this between partners without it becoming a household war and without a whole bordello, a whole ordeal, like what we just saw with Bebe Rexha. So the consensus on the internet is that what she did was unacceptable and he should dump her ass, basically. And also in the text messages, he also alludes to how Bebe Rexha body shames him and how she makes fun of him when he gains 3 pounds or whatever. Okay. So basically this text message leak reflected very badly on her. It definitely did not, if the intended effect was hopping on some kind of wave that would garner her positive publicity, it did not reach its intended target. Okay. It did not hit the target. Now we know Bebe Rexha has mental health issues. She apparently has bipolar disorder. Again, two things can be true at once. Someone could have mental health issues and something someone did can also be wrong. And so here I am, A-D, member of the Insecure Boy Garbage Disposal Services, aka a card-holding member of the woke mob. I'm here to announce to you that a whole ass man came out of an attempted cancellation unscathed and looking better than ever. And why do you think that is? Well, as it turns out, maybe the woke mob isn't as scary as you think it is. In fact, maybe woke people are able and capable of looking at the facts and coming to reasonable conclusions. Surprise! So I would like to remind you, one planet, one species. We have more in common than what we give each other credit for. And there is bipartisan consensus that leaking private text messages to air petty interpersonal grievances is wrong and will likely backfire. So always remember, we are family. Hit up by sisters and me. I don't even know if that's the lyrics, but we're gonna sing it. We are family.